welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here of the OSC Rising Star, OSC Rising Star Elite number 17.5 day 2. Welcome, bienvenidos one and all here to the second day, to the second week here of this event. For those that are curious, this is an event for up-and-coming players, for the rising stars here in StarCraft 2. Let's go, players from Korea, players from Europe, players from the Americas, all facing off against each other, looking to be the next rising star here in the OSC Elite tournaments. Meanwhile, big shout out to for Jimmy Jimmy Babiga, thank you so much, thanks so much for the raid. Hope you had a great time playing GeoGuessr, and welcome one and all. Fun fact, we'll actually be casting some Jimmy later on. Jimmy is going to be competing later on against Creature towards the end of the broadcast, but until then we do have plenty of other matches to delve into. We are still quite early when it comes to the broadcast, when it comes to the tournament I should say. This is merely only day 2, but there are a lot of matches to come. Thankfully, this is going to be single elimination. Typically the OSC Elite Rising event is double elimination, and there are so many matches. It typically takes like 3-4 months to get through, but here this is kind of like a midway tournament. It hasn't happened before, but we do have a 0.5 instead, and as a result, single elimination, but purely best of 5s. It's crazy. A lot of games, a lot of matches. Until then, though, we have our first series. It is going to be a PvP between Sebesdes and HiGhDrA. Let's go. Let us go. Game 1 is going to be on Winter Madness. Let's jump into our first series. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. 1:11 a.m. Papi, why so late? Why so early, you mean, Papi? I just woke up. Of course, last night we were live. We were adminning the 2v2 tournaments, Thermal 2v2 circuit. We were live, we were adminning, got a little bit of sleep, and now we are back with some more StarCraft. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the purple Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy. It is Sebesdes. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. It is HiGhDrA. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It has been a while, but it is Gamba time. It is Gamba time. If you're in the chat, one moment as we do set things up. If you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. And there we go. Predictions open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. See that this is the third Rising Star 0.5 event. Oh, there you go. The third event. It's a bit of a midpoint. I'll be honest, I don't really know what constitutes a 0.5, like what does bring it about. But regardless, we do have our event here. We're going to once again confirm, perceive our Rising Star. Now, when it comes to the event itself, exclamation mark B in the chat should give you a link to the bracket. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Fix up the audio. There we go. Should be a lot better. So I do apologize for the audio levels, but if you remember, we were casting the Thunderfire event over the weekend, and the Thunderfire event clean feed audio was very low. It's very low, so we did have to adjust for that. So I do apologize, but it should be fixed. Should be fixed as we're getting to our initial matchup here. We do have our 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of HiGhDrA, likewise 2-gate opener out of Sebesdes. But what I was getting at here in regards to the bracket, exclamation mark B, as you can look at the back yourselves, is we did actually make reference to this previously. Now we have confirmation. We are missing some players. There are some players that are missing from the bracket that we typically do look to see as favorite players or even represent their races, specifically Percival and Nickracht. Percival and Nickracht, they are absent from the bracket, and the reasoning for that is because they graduated. They are no longer eligible for this event, bearing in mind that depending on your placement, depending on your performances in Premier tournaments, and even in other major OSC events like the OSC Championship, you are ineligible for the event. This is purely for the rising talent, and again, Nickracht and Percival, they got too good. They got too good, so that is why they're not a part of this event. That's why typically they're some of the more regulars here, but not this time, and not for the near future. Meanwhile, Sebesdes is claiming his natural, so is HiGhDrA. So far, so good. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. We do have our initial units of choice. It's going to be Stalker, Sentry for both players. Here come our scouts. Here comes our confirmation. So nothing wild, there's no proxies, there's no shenanigans. We have our tech of choice here from Sebesdes going Twilight Council first. Meanwhile, HiGhDrA will soon throw down his own tech as well. But we're getting into a much more tame PvP. Much more tame. As HiGhDrA did warp in extra units, he's hiding, trying to catch any stray units here in the center of the map. Now going for his own Twilight Council. As HiGhDrA did warp in extra Stalkers, but alas isn't able to quite make use of them. So again, HiGhDrA does have the Stalker advantage. The downside is his blink is going to be delayed, as blink has already begun for Sebesdes. So Sebesdes, he's being a little bit more defensive. He warped in extra sentries instead for hallucinations, for force fields. He's taking that more defensive stance, building up in towards a greater mid game, ideally. Meanwhile, we'll see if HiGhDrA can actually make use of this army, make use of the continued warp-ins. Sebesdes is still moving out. It's going to be on our players to confirm any additional gateways, any faster third bases, any sign of aggression or greed. Ooh, as the scout is denied. Does deny the hallucination. Sebesdes a little bit more in the dark. As a result, does go for his own Robo on 2 bases. And building up into a forge. Okay, just again working towards that mid game. Further upgrades and further tech, immortal production, observers for detection as well. Meanwhile, HiGhDrA going to be delaying his Robo. Okay, oh, never mind. Does get his Robo, but looking to delay some tech here as he's setting up for a faster third. Still, no, never mind. Was in position, but throws down extra gateways, getting into a 4-gate setup. Hallucination does get eyes on the would-be third base. And we'll confirm. Yep, gets into the main, sees all 4 gates. HiGhDra's committing. Essentially, this third base is fake. There's a fake out here. Thankfully, Sebesdes does confirm. We already have a shield battery. Immortals on the way. Force fields are going to be paramount here when it comes to the defense. And Blink is still a ways away for HiGhDrA. Again, Blink was delayed. We brought that up earlier. Does not the pylon. HiGhDrA does expand and pulls away. Interesting. So in the end, did throw down extra gateways, didn't quite make use of them, did posture, did ensure that Sebesdes was not expanding, did contain him on 2 bases, and hey, may as well expand. So HiGhDrA, he contains Sebesdes, claims his own third, taking that slight economic lead, and gets the hell out of there. So get a lot of posturing, a lot of maneuvering. So HiGhDrA, he'll have the slightly faster third base, slightly better saturation. At the same time, though, we do have Sebesdes with, I believe, a slightly higher immortal count. Yeah, he's already going to have a second immortal. So when it comes to the main armies, currently I do favor Sebesdes, but eventually we'll be building up towards a mass amount of zealots into Archons. We'll be taking up. Speaking of, Temple Archives on the way, so Sebesdes is building up in towards that mid game. And again, so far it's been a relatively passive game here. We did have some posturing, of course. We did have HiGhDrA threatening an attack and containing his opponent, but no major engagements. And this is kind of what we expect, to be honest, out of European PvP when it comes to players like HiGhDrA, like Sebesdes, even Showtime and MaxX when they're up against some of the other players. We just slow things down. I'm hoping that we do get into some proxies later and some more aggressive play, but for now, it's just like no rush, 3-4 bases. We're just kind of building up. Calming down. So soon we're going to have to think a little bit bigger picture here when it comes to the army compositions themselves. How many Zealots, how many Archons, the engagements. We did mention earlier that Sebesdes, he already does enjoy a greater immortal count, and he's going to be able to maintain that. Can be a crucial part of the upcoming fight. Single nation, small price pool. No, yeah. That we know. Sorry, what I meant earlier about what like constitutes a 0.5 is what like maybe a better way, a better word of using that would have been what prompts a 0.5. Like what does bring it about. But there we go. As both armies do push. Sebesdes is trying to have position. Oh, it does have the high ground. And with that, does have the greater engage. Okay, not bad. Kites back, deals with all these zealots. HiGhDrA overextending a little bit. And HiGhDrA will bleed out with sentries. The immortals are exposed. A rough fight here for HiGhDrA. But it does have more reinforcements. He's trying to move in. We still have those 4 immortals in the back line, though. Yeah, once they can get through those zealots, they can just mow down the army. Yeah, and again, just a really rough fight. Again, stuck on the low ground, pushing into a greater concave. Likewise, he trickled in with the zealots and with the sentries. Yeah, just a really rough engage. Sebesdes doesn't press his advantage. He totally could. But for now, he backs up. Better fight for our purple Protoss. And HiGhDrA has some recovering to do. Now, after a rough fight like this, it is a mirror matchup. It is difficult to try to regain the lead, but there are ways in doing so when it comes to Zealot run-bys, War Prism harass, Adept harass as well. Adepts, they can be so annoying here, as Sword Ups can one-shot probes. But we can see that so far, HiGhDrA isn't able to get across the map. He does have some Zealots here to get eyes on the 4th base, and HiGhDrA does have a faster 4th at least. But you can see the supply disparity, and that's purely an army. So we have that army supply lead here for Sebesdes. Again, he just took the better fight. Now working on +3. Also had that upgraded range as well. True. Did have +2. As HiGhDrA just hoping he can maybe force Sebesdes out of position. Distracting on the right-hand side. And does pull away some zealots, but never mind. Sebesdes comes back. He does come back around. And HiGhDrA, he has to get the hell out of here. Like he can't commit. He blinks in. He's crazy. Yeah, blinks in. Takes some hits. Sebesdes does move out. Once again, pulling back and dragging out those zealots. The Archons, they get some nice volleys off. Again, when it comes to how you engage, it is so crucial that you preserve your zealots. You don't want to aim move in, you don't just want to run into those Archons. You gotta play it safe, play it carefully. And Sebesdes is going to be the first to max out. And the first hit +3. So +3 is finishing. Here comes Sebesdes. And a base trade might be the best option here for HiGhDrA, but he does run into the army. They do spot each other. HiGhDrA pulls away. And Sebesdes doesn't commit. Oh, okay, there we go. I was like, he doesn't commit. Zealots, they peel off, they get into the natural. Probes are going to go down. Oh, HiGhDrA catching an Archon, not bad. Picks up an Archon, going for the other. Messy engage here for Sebesdes. As he was caught out, but at the same time, the Zealots, they wreak havoc. They wreak havoc. 30 probes. Oh my god. 30 probes going down. Zealots in the natural. Zealots in the main. Yeah, Sebesdes, he does pop up. He just has to survive. As he bleeds out another Archon, another Immortal. Again, just a really rough engage here for Sebesdes. Pulls back to a shield battery. Has more reinforcements. But it's still going to be close here. There's so many Archons for HiGhDrA. The Archons are pushing in. HiGhDrA, can he do it? Can he end the game with this push? Back at home, there's nothing left. Back at home, he has no economy. No economy, no bank. He breaks a third. Sebesdes back at home, trying to warp in. But against Sebesdes, he got caught with his pants down. He got caught out in the center of the map. Lost almost all of his high-tech units. HiGhDrA can still win this. Just with one big push. slowly pushing forward, and GG gets called. HiGhDrA, he does overwhelm, and HiGhDrA takes game number 1. GG. Again, Sebesdes, he was playing that so well for the majority of the game. Even though he had maybe a slightly later third base, a later fourth base, he was taking better fights, he had better upgrades, he had better engagements early on. But as we mentioned, as he went for the Zealot run-by, which did do a lot of damage, he got caught out in the open. We saw that his armor was very spread thin. It was very spread thin in the center of the map. His Immortals were exposed, his Archons were exposed. He was fighting with half his army because he sent so many Zealots for that run-by, and he lost the fight, lost the game. GG, well played. HiGhDrA able to take a lead in the series, and we'll see if we can extend that lead as we get into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. As game 2 is going to be on Ruby Rock, and we'll see if Sebesdes can take a moment here, take a breath, and try to lock in, baby, try to settle back in. As again, he played out the majority of that game well, even towards the end, was crippling the economy, but it did just come down to that one big engagement in the center of the map. And here we go. Spawning in this upper hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the purple Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Sebesdes. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss player himself. Oh, from the land of the Netherlands, it is HiGhDrA, leading the series 1-0. As a reminder, this is going to be a best of 5. Is a best of 5. And coming into this, HiGhDrA needs 2 more wins here to claim the series. For now, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map of the map pool, smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression and aggressive move outs can be a little bit more favored here, but at the same time, it is a mirror matchup, it is a PvP, so we'll see how our players will approach each other. Last game, we had a pretty tame game overall, getting into the mid-game, slowly getting our natural bases, our third bases, our fourth bases, building up, taking up. We'll see if anyone decides to be more aggressive earlier on. Hello. As HiGhDrA does veer off towards the top side. With this, he can hide his pylon. Based on the pro placement, based on the location, it looks like a fake proxy pylon. This could also be a proxy Stargate, true. Wouldn't be the worst location for it. It is quite far back, but can also be an option. Never mind. He does abandon it. Okay, so a fake proxy pylon. Essentially, when Sebesdes goes into the main base, as he is with his probe scout, he is counting pylons. He's checking, confirming. You can see he's going further back behind the mineral line, and he confirms that, hold up, one of your pylons is missing, right? Where is your second pylon? You can see here Sebesdes is doing second pylon that's next to the gas geyser. He's searching for the other. And HiGhDrA, he's hoping for an overreaction. Does Sebesdes believe there's a proxy? Does he believe there's a one base all incoming his way? We know that it's a fake. Sebesdes has to confirm. Ooh, and he does scout the edge of the map. Based on the rally, based on the current rally, he will not scout the pylon. And he already sends out a second probe. And already this is doing damage. Basically, there's one extra worker, Sebesdes, that is not mining. As a result, HiGhDrA does have the slightly better economy. He does come with his own probe scout, does confirm both pylons. Or 3 pylons even. And already the third pylon is in the main, going for the Stargate on one base as well. So HiGhDrA will have the greater economy, will have the faster natural. As there's that natural base. So HiGhDrA, he will take an economic lead. Sebesdes still scouring the map, still trying to figure out what's going on. Does slip in and does confirm. Yeah, he scouts the base. Now he sees. Ooh, it was a fake. It was a fake out. HiGhDrA is expanding. Free scout all the way further into the main base. Yeah, HiGhDRA's out of position. And as he gets dragged over by the probe, Sebesdes, he can start to apply some pressure. And again, the pressure is on Sebesdes, right? Like, he has to find some damage here. Getting into the pylon. Again, HiGhDRA's out of position. And the pylon up. Does not go down. Does get the sentry though. And trades with the sentries. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 sentries, 2 stalkers. At the same time, Sebesdes taking some more damage. Oof. Barely does waddle away. No, I spoke too soon. Yeah, rough movement there. Losing a stalker, and Sebesdes, he's in trouble. He's getting the hell out of here. Back at home, he's going for Stargate, going for his Oracle. The Oracle can help recover. But last Sebesdes is almost losing another Stalker. Oracle's on the way. Now, HiGhDrA did get into the main. Okay, he did get into the main base. So I was about to say, I was about to be concerned whether or not he was able to scout with his hallucination before he lost his sentries. But did scout. 2 soldiers in position. Stalkers are ready. Despite that, does lose 2 probes. HiGhDrA still up in workers, but only slightly. And at least Sebesdes does keep the Oracle alive. Keeps it alive. We have a second Oracle on the way. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes. Bear that in mind. So Sebesdes, he can still find some more damage. Find some more. And he's gonna need to. Again, he's down by 5. Down by 5. His natural base is just not finishing up. HiGhDra's been mining for quite some time. Almost fully saturated. Oh, and likewise, because it didn't invest into the Stargate, HiGhDRA also has faster play. But here come the Oracles. HiGhDra's out of position. He's on the main. Oh no, where are we going? He's on the main base. There was potential for so much potential for damage. Sebesdes now going further in. Now does confirm. There we go. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probe kills. Oh my god. Getting to 6. There could have been a little bit more damage here, but regardless, still amazing. 6 probes go down. And HiGhDRA, that lead that he once had, not there anymore. I mean, I say that faster third, true. Faster third base for HiGhDRA. Will help him recover. But again, now down by 5 workers. And once again, the scary thing is, down by 5 workers, the Oracles are still alive. They can always go back in. A shield battery is not good enough. I should emphasize that 2 Oracles, they one-shot probes, so even if there's a shield battery, they can out-DPS the healing output of a shield battery. So these Oracles are still a threat. HiGhDRA does need to keep units in position. And we're building up those Stalkers. Getting a Fortune +1. Still no third expansion here by Sebesdes, but there we go. Now he does expand. Now he does set up. As he sets up, he's moving out. Because of later expansion, Sebesdes, he's been going for extra weapons. So extra weapons, larger army. We have 18 Stalkers to the 12 of HiGhDRA. HiGhDRA can make up for that with sentries, with the Immortal, with the shield battery. Sebesdes moving in. Ready to distract. Dives on the Immortal. Does get the dive and does... Oh, barely not. Yeah, it does not sight the Immortal. Immortal barely gets away. That's controlled by HiGhDRA. At the same time, Oracles, they attempt to dive into the main. Blinks in once again. Gets the Immortal. Did take a long time though. Did tank a lot of shots. More batteries are on the way. The Oracles, they will be sniped. Yeah, messy engage here from Sebesdes. Getting messy. Oof. And Sebesdes gets punished, bleeding out so many Stalkers. Again, it took like what, 4 volleys to bring down the Immortal. Bleeding out more army. Bearing in mind that Sebesdes' third base was late, HiGhDRA, his own is already done. Sebesdes had the larger army, and he does actually clean everything up. Okay. It's up the Gateway army. Sebesdes, he still maintains the greater Stalker count. But now we have 3 shield batteries. Oh. The batteries, charge is almost done. HiGhDRA switching to a more efficient army. Into charge, and Sebesdes is not. And no further upgrades. He's sticking with Mass Stalker. So once again, he moves out. We did mention this in game number 1, but 2 ups, they one-shot workers, so as Sebesdes ideally distracts at the third base, he can slip into the natural. Setup said you'd move in. Doesn't come into the shade, but does slip into the natural. It's 1, 2, 3 at the same time. Stalkers, they do hit the third. I'm getting into 6 probes. 6, 7 probes go down. HiGhDrA having a hard time keeping up. And HiGhDra's had enough defending. For the first time, this game is moving out. Let's go. Now, as a reminder, what does HiGhDrA have? Charge, right? Charge is done. +1 is still on the way there for HiGhDrA. With a more Zealot-heavy army, HiGhDrA can maybe take a better fight, but it's still going to be difficult. As HiGhDrA moves out, Sebesdes moves in. Yeah, Sebesdes, he does slip by. HiGhDrA does respond. Does react. For a moment there, I thought we were just gonna give it to a base trade. Ooh, HiGhDrA overreacting though. He saw the army, he's looking for it. Sebesdes finds a sentry. Sentry pulls away. As Sebesdes, he's still working towards charge. HiGhDrA trying to collapse in. Doesn't bait the army into the stasis. Decent engage there from HiGhDrA. Charge finishing up in 9 seconds. Likewise, we have shield batteries as well. And Sebesdes should be able to break through. Yes, Sebesdes' charge is now done. Zealous, they break through that defensive line. Dives on the Stalkers. And HiGhDrA, he will lose everything. He cannot take this fight. Not like this. Not anymore. Yeah, it's just taking far too long here. And we will have a series. We'll have a back and forth. As Sebesdes does dominate this fight, diving on the prism, GG gets called, and Sebesdes ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. HiGhDrA initially having the better start. He initially was able to get the better start, have the greater economy, faster natural base into the faster third as well. But the harassment proved to be a little bit too much. The Adept harassed, the Oracle harassed, more importantly, the Stalker aggression as well. Sebesdes did cripple, did pull HiGhDrA apart, and was able to regain his lead and maintain that lead. GG. GG, well played. Again, HiGhDra's having a really hard time when it comes to not just his defensive play, but specifically his vision, his army rotations, and his map awareness. Trying to keep up with the movements and with the units here of Sebesdes was a little bit harder there for HiGhDrA. Was multiple times caught out of position, looking for the army, and not quite where he needs to be. As a result, did bleed out so many probes. But now we're getting into game 3. We're getting into game 3, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the purple Protoss player tying up the series 1-1, and we'll see if he can maintain that momentum and extend that lead. Representing Team Brody, it is Sebesdes. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Protoss player up on the land of the Netherlands. It is HiGhDrA. For some tight series, we'll see if he can bring it back. HiGhDrA. As welcome to the Old Republic, a bit of a larger map compared to Ruby Rock. Larger map, longer rushes. Since last game we saw HiGhDrA go for a fake out and go for a fake proxy pylon. Do we see another fake out? Do we actually commit at any point in this series? Does anyone commit? Buenos días. Buenos días. Este se ahoga. Good morning, Tony. Big Mac SE2. Bienvenidos. Making me hungry. As they're opening up, 2-gate opener out of HiGhDrA, 2-gate opener out of Sebesdes. HiGhDrA once again does veer off towards the left-hand side. This location, though, is a little bit more primed for a proxy robo. We'll see if he commits. We'll see if it's another fake out. The pylon is thrown down once again, and just like last game, Sebesdes slips in and will confirm that a pylon is missing. But this time the probe is sticking around, waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is almost done, and show us what you got: Stargate or Robo. We have the answer: Robo. One base all in, and this time HiGhDrA commits. Now Sebesdes, once again, he's aware that a pylon is missing. It could be a fake out just like last time. It could be real. Oh, Sebesdes, he's crazy. No hesitation, he throws down the Nexus. He's like, nah, I don't believe you, Pat. Does go for a sentry-based opener. Scouting with hallucination. Checking on the bottom right-hand side. Looking for the proxy. Ooh, second probe on the left. Sebesdes, he will find the robo. Okay. He does find a piece of the puzzle. He's aware of the base, but he already did commit into a Nexus. That was a Nexus before robo. Setting up a shield battery. It's going to be a tough hold here for Sebesdes. Not impossible, but it's going to be difficult. As here comes that robo. Again, a delayed defensive robo here for Sebesdes. We'll see if he can buy enough time for his own immortals. Safety shield battery in the main. That's in case we see HiGhDrA juggle into said main base and ferry in. As Stalkers are warping in. HiGhDrA moves out. Again, we'll see if we can break that natural. Oh, he's got to respect those sentries. Doesn't want to be locked in. Shields are triggered. So far, Sebesdes, he's buying time for that immortal. It's halfway done. I just breaking forward. Oh my god. Has to recover that war prism. Does move in. And he takes down the shield battery. Oh, never mind. Battery does survive. Remember, as time goes on, it's getting better and better for Sebesdes. He does have the greater economy. Does have that economy. So again, shields are triggered. But HiGhDrA not really gaining any ground here. Oh no, there's Rally losing 2 sentries. Ay, that should not have happened. 2 sentries thrown away for free. Force tools, that would have been crucial here to lock down that immortal. Big losses there for HiGhDrA. Big losses. As 2 warpins basically wasted. Vessel's trying to force his way in. We have a 3rd shield battery on the way. 4th shield battery even. The juggling is decent, preserving the immortals. Getting another. 3rd immortals waddling in. But Sebesdes, he will soon have his own war prism. And now soon he can micro as well. He can micro, he can juggle. Now he's up to 4 shield batteries. There's a force field. And Sebesdes is able to rotate. It does rotate down. Pulls back behind the batteries. So far juggling well. Can he get on top of those immortals though? Yeah, he's trying. Oh no! Yeah, it does pull back, but he's going to be broken. GG gets called as HiGhDrA does preserve all 3 immortals, and HiGhDrA does take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. HiGhDrA does eventually break through. Again, I was concerned with HiGhDrA losing those first 2 sentries, but as you saw, he was able to still overwhelm at that natural. There was there were 4 shield batteries, and I mean they did what they could. The juggling was decent as well when it came to saving the immortals, but only the immortals were saved. Essentially for Sebesdes, they were still bleeding out those stalkers, still bleeding out the other gateway units. GG. GG, well played. In the end, he was broken, and HiGhDrA does extend his lead as we load into game number 4. HiGhDrA, he may claim it here and now. Remember, it's first of 3, best of 5. Best of 5 series, first of 3 will claim the win, and HiGhDrA needs one more to claim that win. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Tactical Citadel, we have the purple Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy down in the series. He has a 5-pack here and now to force the ace match. It is Sebesdes. and spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner here we have his opponent. We have the green Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands leading the series 2-1. It is HiGhDrA. Go. Here we go. Once again, HiGhDrA able to pull off that one base all in, able to break Sebesdes. We'll see if he can close that here. Now, welcome to Tidal Citadel. One of the more vetoed maps, to be honest. We don't really get to see too many games on Tidal Citadel. Does have some quirky features. The goal base bottom left, of course. The overall map layouts. Having the central area blocked off and having a pathway towards the third and fourth base instead. Can be awkward to engage into, to rotate. Likewise, this third and fourth base are very spread out, very far apart. So defensive rotations, aggressive rotations, they can be quite crucial. We'll see. Something important to take note of is that Sebesdes has yet to go for a proxy or even fake a proxy. He's been just keeping his pylons back at home, playing standard. Playing standard, playing safe. There's a second pylon. This time, for the first time in quite some time, HiGhDrA does go for a second pylon in the main base as well. There's no fake out, no proxy. Sebesdes, he will scout this. He can breathe easy. It's like, okay, we're good. We're good, we're good. Players are looking to expand. Sebesdes, he does pylon block. Goes to the pylon, likewise so does HiGhDrA, delaying our expansions. Ideally forcing out earlier attack. Both players do cancel in time. And Sebesdes is the first to expand. HiGhDrA is not too far behind. Did opt to go for an initial sentry first. So his own nexus was slightly delayed. And so far everything's looking very macro oriented. Not just expansions, but also triple sentry. Right, we're opening up triple sentry from HiGhDrA. Sebesdes doing the same, plenty of hallucinations, plenty of scouting. So both players will scout each other. We also have another deviation. Twilight Council out of Sebesdes, Robo out of HiGhDrA. Okay, so HiGhDrA will take a more defensive stance. Typically with an earlier Robo, that leads into earlier Immortal production. So you can kind of like build up this Immortal count early on, be able to maintain your natural so they get a third base, and eventually break out with multiple Immortals. Never mind, as we go for an earlier Twilight Council. Okay, so Robo to Twilight Council. Just playing safe. And Sebesdes will have much earlier blink. Oh, we've been here before. Similar to game one. HiGhDrA is open to War Prism first. With an early War Prism like this, he can go for even a sentry drop. True, it's been a while, actually, seeing sentry drops. I can't remember if HiGhDrA was one to. Oh, gee, we're going into Glaives? Okay. Let's go. Sentries are going to be picked up. Essentially, what you can do here, and what was quite common, I feel like it's fallen off quite a bit in PvP, but it did have a brief stint last year, is diving into the mineral line. Diving into the mineral line, force fielding the probes in, and then killing as many probes as you can with sentries. This became more viable after the buff to the sentry. If you recall, it was, what, a year ago, 2 years ago now, but the sentry was buffed in PvP, and it does do bonus damage to shield-based units. So specifically in PvP, the sentry does more damage. Attempt to drop into the main. Sebesdes is in position, though. Oh, no! Oh! Yeah, we have to get out of here. We have to get out. Prism is zoned away. Behind this, throwing down more gateways again, early glaives. Feels like a two-base all-in. We're going to commit. We're going to double down. As we have even more gateways. HiGhDRA's no stopping. Meanwhile, what has Sebesdes seen? Nothing yet. He saw the Robo, saw the Twilight Council, hasn't seen the gateways, hasn't seen the lack of expansion. Sebesdes is still somewhat in the dark. I'm just building up. Now the drop was denied, but at least he saves all the sentries. Sentries are saved. Adepts are warping in. Sebesdes throwing down his own gateways. True, true. If Sebesdes was getting a third base, I'd be concerned, but no, he's getting to 4 gates himself. Even into a bay? Okay. Adepts stay shaded. Shade into the mineral line. 5 probes go down. Nice damage here by HiGhDrA. But Sebesdes is rushing into disruptors on 2 bases. Oh my god. Nice force field. Gets 1, 2, 3. 2 soldiers go down. Late blinks, late reactions. HiGhDRA's not stopping. Remember, HiGhDRA, he's 2 base all in, but he's going 2 base all in against a 2 basing player. Sebesdes recalls back home. Has a comparable army. Yeah, nice snipe. Takes out the prism, and HiGhDRA's stuck. Yeah, HiGhDRA, he has to commit. He's going to lose everything. The immortals go down, the prism goes down, and HiGhDRA will lose the entire army. GG gets called. Sebesdes size of the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Rough position there for HiGhDRA. Again, HiGhDRA, who was building up into his 2 base all in, but remember, Sebesdes, he wasn't expanding. He wasn't getting a third base. He was keeping up also on 2 bases as well with a massive amount of stalkers, and he was able to shut down the all in, shut down the push. GG. GG, well played. Again, that kind of play from HiGhDRA works best if your opponent is playing standard and macro, right? If they're slowly building up towards a third base, focusing on their economy, cutting some corners. That's when you can pop off. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the purple Protoss player. The purple Protoss we have representing Team Ruddy from Czechia. It is Sebesdes. Sebesdes, happy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Protoss player from land of the Netherlands. It is HiGhDrA. Here we go. Have our ace match again. First series of the broadcast. We go all the way to game 5. Let's go. We made it, man. We made it all the way to the ace match. And this can go either way. HiGhDrA, I would say, has been more diverse for sure, right? We've seen fake proxy pylons, real proxy pylons, 1 base all-ins, 2 base all-ins. I will say that Sebesdes did kind of keep up with that, of course, last game, also staying on 2 bases himself. In my mind, I would imagine a little bit more reactionary. But we'll see. We'll see what HiGhDrA has in store for us this time. As it, again, feels like HiGhDrA has been dictating the pace of the game the majority of this series. For now, 2 gate openers. I was about to say I don't really see many others outside of the top Koreans like go for like gate cyber expands, but I'm gonna eat my words and saying that, and I was reminded of Arrowfire who'd also mixed it in. I miss him. It's been a while. I remember he went on a big hiatus and he came back last year. Like he came back last year for a little bit, but yeah, silently stepped away. When was the last time he competed? So now, so far mirrored builds. HiGhDrA does hide a pylon, and HiGhDrA is going for once again a 1 base all-in. Let's go. Going for the proxy robo. Waiting for the proxy setup. At the same time, Sebesdes, he's scouting, he's searching. Sebesdes, he's aware that once again a pylon is missing, and he will scout the bottom left-hand side. Likewise, checking top right, and he will find it. Yeah, Sebesdes will confirm. This time a much earlier scout compared to on the Old Republic. Likewise, this time a robo before expanding. If you remember, this is also one of the reasons why he had such a difficult defense, was how late the robo was. As Sebesdes, he did blindly go for a faster Nexus last time. Meanwhile, he's got the faster robo, 3rd gateway. Pylon is under fire. The pylon will go down. HiGhDrA, he's going to try to defend, but it's too late. It's too far gone. Massive delay. And this is looking bleak. This is looking rough. It's looking rough here for HiGhDrA. Focus engaged. Slightly better trade for HiGhDrA. Up. Trading 1-to-1. Sebesdes comes out on top of the trade though. Yeah, that's a lot of extra hits. A lot of extra volleys. Attempts to throw down those pylons. Oh no. Oh, another Stalker goes down. HiGhDrA, he just wants to all in, Pappy. But the all in is denied. As Sebesdes, he does maintain the higher Stalker count. He's got 3-2. Robo gets repowered, but the Immortal is so far away. Takes out another Stalker and soon to be another. And the all in has failed. The all in has failed. Pylon goes down. There's one pylon left. GG. Sebesdes, he will shut down the all in and claim the series 3-2. GG. Hi, GG will play. Congratulations, Sebesdes. He will claim the series, as opposed to on the Old Republic. Sebesdes, this time he did go for a much faster robo before even scouting. So he kind of like, he felt it out. He believed that he would be proxy, that he would be cheesed out. So he did throw down the faster robo, was able to scout, confirm, react with a faster third gateway as well, and completely shut it down before it could really get going. Again, HiGhDrA was denied that proxy. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Sebesdes, he does claim the series, does advance on into the next round. GG, well played. Does advance on, I believe, to face off against Shameless in another PvP. Oh, no. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. As we're going to take a brief break from the PvPs. Don't worry, we got plenty more ahead of us. Again, we're going to be casting Jimmy versus Creature later on. And now we have confirmation it is going to be Shameless versus Sebesdes later on as well. But we're going to break up some of those PvPs and diversify with a PvZ. Up next is going to be Minnow VK versus Demi. Oh boy, bearing in mind this is a single elimination bracket this time, so HiGhDrA is out of the tournament. It was close though, it could have gone either way. HiGhDrA played well for himself, and again, personally, I do appreciate that HiGhDrA was the more diverse player, right? Proxies with fake outs, 1 base all-ins, 2 base all-ins, even standard play in game 1 as well. True, even standard play. But I did appreciate that HiGhDrA was a little bit more exploratory in his play, more so than Sebesdes. But here we go. We now have our fresh series. It is going to be that PvZ. Game 1, Winter Madness. Let's go.